So, what is a refugee? A refugee is one who escapes his or her country in fear of danger or persecution because of race, nationality, religion, membership in a social group, or political opinion. A refugee can be characterized with poor conditions and insufficient resources. Refugees receive aid and support from the new countries that they reside in, such as food, shelter, healthcare, and protection. A refugee population is a group of refugees fleeing from a certain area into the same area and forming a community. Refugee populations are characterized with poor conditions as well and insufficient resources. The communities refugee populations create in the new country are often characterized with poor conditions and lack enough resources. An example of a refugee population would be in 2010, when the largest number of refugees were forced to migrate from Afghanistan and Iraq to neighboring countries, such as Pakistan and Iran. Refugees migrated due to the continuing wars in Afghanistan, threatening the protection of many people in the country. Another example of a refugee or refugee population were the Indian Cherokee Nation, known as the Trail of Tears. In the 1800s, discrimination against Indians in the western portion of the United States led to a law known as the Indian Removal Act, which required the Cherokee Nation to give up their lands east of the Mississippi River and migrate to Oklahoma. When some of the Cherokee decided to refuse and fight back, the government ordered troops to expedite the removal process in the form of violence. The Indians were forced to Oklahoma to create an Indian community. In addition, after World War II, refugees presented a global crisis. After the war, resentment of Germany caused many ethnic Germans to be driven out of their homes, no matter how long they had been living in the country. About 11.5 million Germans who lived in Eastern Europe migrated out of their homes as a result of the social pressure. Another case of refugees are Jewish people who were persecuted due to their religion in their home country and were dispersed to different countries by Romans. The Jews would often migrate to ghettos in Europe, which were poor city neighborhoods that were set up by law to be inhabited by Jewish people only. Well, enough about the history. What's going on today? Well, studies showed that at the end of 2013, there were 16.7 million refugees worldwide, with the highest number in Pakistan, about 1.6 million refugees. As shown, many refugees migrate for a series of political and social reasons, and often reside in communities with very poor conditions.